everyone, welcome back to Beautiful Sanctuary podcast channel. My name is Vani. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Monday morning, noon, or night? So a quick couple run throughs of how this channel would go according to like journaling prompts and things like that. Not only do I want to just do journaling prompts on either Saturdays or Sundays, but I do want to do them throughout the week. Like Mondays, of course, will be, Mondays, and then midday journaling will be Wednesdays, and then before the weekend we'll do Fridays. So journaling prompts will be posting on YouTube, Facebook, and my Instagram, which will all be linked down below if you want to check out those links. To those, you can also follow me and add me on those as well, and as well as TikTok. We are on TikTok. Yes, I will be going, or try to go live. I will be going live on TikTok more often. I will do the whole YouTube live situation, but I'm not sure how that will go. So yeah, I will be posting 4 times a week, 2 times a day, 2 times on Monday and 2 times on Friday. So in total, 4 days a week. So yeah, so today will be this video, and then once this video is over, the next video will be posted. So make sure you have on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any posts when I do post. I'm also learning how to slow down when I talk, because I know that when I get anxious, I want to bring or just talk about anything, I tend to talk fast, and I'm learning to slow down. All right. So yeah, on to today's topic. Today's topic is healing doesn't mean you will never hurt again. The healing stages of your life, when you get to the point of when you want to start to heal and just detox yourself from relationships and friends and things like that. It's a process. It's a process. It's not an easy process, but it is doable for any and everybody. I am currently, like I said, I'll talk to y'all and then I'll talk to y'all, but also to me. So I'm talking to us as a collective. I am currently going through healing stages. There's no start or end when healing happens. Healing happens. It is a everyday ongoing process. And like I said, it's not easy, but it's very doable. But everybody tends to think when you are going through your healing processes, you aren't supposed to feel any negative emotions. Your negative emotions, when it comes to healing is just accepting who you are as a person and loving who you are as a person. And with loving who you are as a person, you have to understand that we go through good and negative emotions, and your negative emotions are just as valid as your positive emotions. So to not want to feel any negative is not wanting to feel who you are as a person. So in order to feel who you are as a person and to understand who you are, you have to learn that your negative emotions need to be felt. When you feel angry, when you feel sad, when you feel, a little bit depressed about whatever situation you're going through, it's okay to feel those things while you are healing. That just means that you're healing. When you allow yourself, when you have a bad day, allow yourself to have that day. Do whatever it is you need to do to get back and to feel those positive emotions, but those negative emotions, they need to be felt. Don't stay and wallow and weep in those negative emotions. Don't become those negative emotions. When you feel something, feel it. You want to cry a little bit, cry, let it go. Any negative emotions come by, it's meant to be felt and released, not felt and then you stay there. Don't stay in that anger. Don't stay in that sadness. Don't stay in that depression, because that will prolong where you are meant to be. Like I said in the previous video, that when you allow yourself to sit in your negative emotions, you start to adjust without knowing. You start to adjust your life around those negative emotions, and how you will start to just answer people Like if you're angry and you allow yourself to sit in that anger, you will respond to everything and everybody with anger. That's how you know that you are allowing yourself to become that, because you're feeling it, but you're not letting it go. You're feeling it and you're letting it stay there. So yeah, so that I don't get too off topic, which I do tend to do, I have my computer here and I have like different topics that I want to talk about, because if I don't have a map out of what I want to talk about, I will be everywhere. Here thought, there thought. It just thoughts everywhere. So to keep myself on track and on task with that, I have topics I want to talk about. So when y'all see me off screen, that's what I'm looking at. When y'all see my eyes off screen, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. Stop judging yourself for having emotions. That's number 2. Stop judging yourself for having emotions. Stop being so hard on yourself when you are in your healing processes, or in your healing process. When you went through the hard stuff and you're learning to love yourself again, or starting to love yourself from scratch, or however that may look for you, don't judge yourself for feeling like I just mentioned before. Just talk about, okay, it says, have you ever felt guilty for being sad when your life was actually getting better? When things start to look better for you, like if you've been wanting a job or if a relationship is getting better, you have the right to second guess and maybe double back, and people tell you not to, just move forward, don't look back. But when you double back or you feel sad about something, that's not you like looking back on the situation that happened, whether it be sad or a bad situation. You have to allow yourself to process those emotions, because if you don't process those emotions, when you do double back on those situations that you have got out of, you will continue to feel that over and over and over again until you allow yourself to feel that negative emotion towards whatever situation that you have gone through, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So healing isn't linear. It's not a plain and simple thing. Healing looks different for everybody, because as individuals, we go through things differently. So our healing process will look different. Sometimes we go through things similar, but not completely, not exactly the same. Or if we go through things that's exactly the same, we handle them differently because we are different individuals. So healing will look different for us individually. So it says healing can look like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, a pause, or another step forward. Healing is not a straight line. It is what it is, because it's not always what it is. It can there's if you are in your healing processes and you are experiencing or what feels like a step back or several steps back, it's because you haven't allowed yourself to feel what you needed to feel in that moment before you took those 2 steps forward. So now you got to take those 2 steps back to better understand that emotion in that time frame. Yes, it's good that you're healing. Yes, it's good that you're moving, because even before you took those 2 steps back, you were still moving regardless. There was something that brought you to that point before you took 2 steps forward in order to take 2 steps back. Something needed to be better understood, if that makes sense. Okay, next one is give yourself permission to have a bad day. A bad day does not set you back in your healing processes. It only sets you back in your healing processes when you have a bad day and you let that bad day continue into a bad week or a bad month. Don't let whatever situation caused you to have a bad day, whether it was yourself, whether it was somebody else, do not allow yourself to just be that. Don't let any situation or any person or anybody or even yourself make you so mad to the point where you're just willing to just give up and throw in the towel. You know what, this is not worth it. Because at the end of the day, as an individual, your feelings and your thoughts are worth it. Never tell yourself you're not worth it, for one. Okay. It says, today is hard, but today isn't my whole life. Exactly. You had a bad day. That does not mean that your tomorrow will be bad. That does not mean your month will be bad. Feel whatever feelings you need to feel within that day, but don't let that day become who you are. Don't let your bad day, whoever made your day bad or whatever made your day bad, don't just sit in that. Because you can't grow, and you can't progress if you sit in that bad day. If you let that bad day trigger into tomorrow. And then by the time Friday comes around, you're mentally, physically, and emotionally just drained because you let that bad Monday carry all the way over into a whole week of just a domino effect of because bad negative emotions come with a lot. If you allow it to trickle down up until like a whole week of just bad things. You wonder, why is this happening? I had a bad day yesterday and having a bad day today. Because you haven't assessed the emotions from that bad day when you needed to. So then, since you haven't assessed the negative emotions from Monday, those negative emotions carry on into Tuesday. You don't try to understand that emotion from Monday that carry on to Tuesday, it will carry on to Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So we have to learn to understand and sit with your emotions for a minute, but don't let it become who you are. All right, and 5 is this is not gonna be a very long video, but number 5 is, you don't have to be positive all the time. Healing does not mean that you're just go lucky and you just everything is peaches and cream right off the jump. No, healing is not like that at all. Wish it was. That'd be nice, but it's not. Like if you really understand it, because healing is loving yourself the way that you wanted somebody to love you. Understanding yourself the way you want somebody else to. Being there for yourself, showing up for yourself when you are looking for others to do it that's not going to do it. Like me, this podcast. A lot of times when I make these videos and if I'm going through something, like I randomly stumble upon one of my videos. That's not like tooting my own horn or nothing like that, trust me. But it's like I be having to take my own advice, if that makes sense. But yeah, it says healing isn't always candles. It's not always journaling. It's not always affirmations, and it's not always peaceful mornings. Sometimes this is we are human. We're going through a human experience. Some days are going to be hectic, but don't let those hectic situations in our lives take over. Don't let them become who you are. Sometimes healing can be you crying in the bathroom, being irritated, needing space, saying, I'm not okay today, taking a break, realizing something still hurts, choosing not to react the way you used to. And I want to say, when it comes to healing, saying and realizing that you're not okay, a lot of times you need a safe place where you can, or like a safe place or a person where you feel safe, where you can vent to them, and then also vice versa, because it's not good to just lay your emotions out and then not allow that person to do the same if they need to. Be there. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I'm a Libra, so everything has to be balanced out, or it just feels chaotic and crazy. And so healing is not, you're not going to be okay 24/7, and that's okay to not be okay 24/7, because even though you're in your healing processes, things will still hurt. But when those things hurt, you have to learn, or we have to learn how to sit with those emotions for a minute. Sit with that pain for a minute. Sit with that emotion from that person pissing you off. Sit with it for just a minute. and try to understand why you feel that way and how you can move on from feeling this way so that you don't feel this way again when that person pisses you off again. And I'm going through this as well, or am going through this. So it's not just, like I said before, it's not just me. It's for us as a collective. It's for we. Not for just you, not for just me. It's for us. So, and then the last point I want to point out is, look at how you handle bad days differently now. When you are in your healing processes, once you, I'm not gonna say mishandle a bad day, but once you give into that bad day and you allow yourself to assess those emotions in that bad day while it's currently happening, when it happens again, because that's how life is, it will, life with its trials and tribulations and things like that, once you get over something, it will approach you again to see it, that same situation with a different person or in a different place will happen again, just to see if you've actually learned anything, or if you're actually going to apply what you learned at first to the situation that's happening again. And until you start to realize what's going on and how to handle certain type of situations, they will keep happening until you apply what you learned in the first place, if that makes sense. And I say if that makes sense a lot because I feel like I'm rambling a lot of times. So I kind of have to catch myself and draw back and be like, okay, it makes sense to me, but does it make sense to you? Does it make sense to us? All right. So it says, look at how you handle bad days differently. This is where you can show your scratch that out. Maybe years ago you would have completely shut down, lashed out, isolated yourself, or given up. And when you do all of those things, when you shut down and lash out, that's like, when you do those things, like I said, we're human, we're learning, we're going through something called a human experience. You're going to lash out, you're going to isolate yourself, but don't give up. Don't give up. It says, recognize what you're feeling, give yourself space and grace. Communicate your needs with whoever you need to communicate your needs with that's important to you at that moment. Reach out for support. Rest instead of forcing yourself. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. I think that's something, there's something that we can all, attest to in different ways. But that last one, don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, because once you do that, that can throw things out of whack very quickly. When you're that leads to like impulsive thinking and impulsive decision making, that you have to be like, wait, why did I do that? Or wait, why did I say that? Or wait, why did I go there? Sit back, take a breath or two, and so that you're not go over those temporary emotions, so that you're not making decisions based off of those, because temporary does not mean forever. And you don't want to make a forever decision that's only going to last temporary, but you don't know that it's not temporary until you sit back and you breathe and you realize that, hey, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have went there. And that's something that you should do before you find yourself making a decision that's happening too fast. Because too fast can mean temporary, because you're not really thinking about it until it's done, and sometimes it could be too late. So before we make a decision, we need to draw back for a minute. Sometimes when it's like a push or pull situation, it's good to overanalyze that, so that you don't make the wrong decision. So you don't make a wrong temporary decision for a indefinite situation, if that makes sense. Okay, let's do one more. Don't turn one bad day into a bad life. That's what we talked about before. But I'm having a terrible day, so everything is terrible. There was this quote this one guy said from BTS. He said that if you If you hate your life will hate you too. And that's very much so true. If you say, well, your words carry a lot of weight. And that's what I had to experience with myself as well. Your words carry weight. So if you say, I'm having a terrible day and everything's going to be terrible, or if you just say out loud, I hate my life, and you wonder why things happen negatively in a domino effect, it just seems like every day is just boom, 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 bad things. Flat tire, lost your job, and it all happens like back to back to back to back. It's because of what you spoke. When you are in your healing process, you also have to learn to watch your words and watch what you say, not just to others, but to yourself as well. Because as much weight as your words will have on somebody else's life, that same weight can have an effect on your life as well. So instead of saying, or when you feel like you're having a bad day, instead of saying I'm having a hard day, instead say, my life is coming together. Things are looking better for me. Instead of saying today is a hard day, instead say, I know today is going to be a good day. Speak the opposite of what you feel so that your day matches up with say positive words to have a positive day. Negative words, negative day. That's all that is. Alright, so that is all for today. This video was a lot longer than what I intended, but that's okay. That's completely fine. This is a safe space for you, for me, for us, for we. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss the 2 videos that I do post out of the week on Mondays and Fridays. I will be doing journaling prompts Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. I'm pretty sure I said don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If I didn't, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on that bell, turn on your post notifications. See y'all all in the next video. Bye. Have self-respect. You're gonna attract that. You can be wondering why I keep attracting these people who don't treat me right.